In the past, we've done a lot of videos on the statement of birth record, birth certificates in general, but I think there's still a confusion regarding it. We have to remember there are two things going on. The statement that the parents filled in, which a statement generally that's made by informants is called an accusation. It has to be proven. So it's just something on file, on record. They'll even tell you that's something that's not proven, or it hasn't been laid a real charge. It's just going to stay on file with the department. So the accusation of the child going to enter into the world of sin occurs on the statement with a nice little frame around it. So we're just kind of giving you some simple background. Here's the one that was issued in 1964. This is a standard that happened in the province of Ontario. I'm sure there's different formats in different places, but uniquely, if you do take a magnifying glass, you'll notice there's a frame around it. So this is kind of how you got framed, because when you get framed, you know it's based on accusation, not based on fact. It's maneuvering of certain things, and this is what's happened here. So the parents were participating in the Leviathan implied social contract. So when they get involved in the serpent's contract, not to be confused with a covenant, because a covenant's not a contract. Contracts we only do in legal that involve valuable consideration, money, and paganism. So the money changing the temple begins here, but the statement that's filled out by the parents is clearly defining where the surname and then the given name on separate lines, and then all the particular information going all the way down to the bottom. And of course, it's signed off by the parent on a certain date and then reviewed by someone later. So it's not really even an affidavit, because there's no one witnessing anybody signing this. It's just signed. Now, the birth certificate, which of course has the government's signatories on it, that's a little different. They call this a certified extract. Now, a certified extract is not coming from the statement of birth record. An extract, is exactly what is on here pulled out of another document. So when I say I took an extract out of a certain writing, it's an exact reproduction of that writing pulled out. So I've taken exactly a piece of it. It looks exactly the way it is in writing, how the format is, everything. This did not come out of the statement of birth record. So the birth certificate did not come out of that. They'll even tell you that what they do is they take the Form 1 from the attending doctor, who only has information with a last name of the parents generally on it, even just what appears to be only an implied last name of what the child's going to have, possibly referring to the parents. And then they take the Form 1, and then they look at the Form 2. The registrar looks at Form 2, which is what the parents filled out, and then taking the two, they make a birth certificate. But the birth certificate that you have is an extract from like an ownership document that you don't have availability to. So do not confuse the statement of birth record with the birth certificate. They're not the same. This came from another document that you do not have access to. There's no options on any of the request forms to obtain the actual document that the birth certificate was extracted from. So they keep the original, you've got a little extract, and that's it. And they don't even say it's true. Funny enough, they don't even say it's a true extract.
You can't use it for ID.
So the statement of birth record cannot be used for identification on its own, because it's not in the format yet. This is leading to the merger of the two names together. But this is coming from another document, an ownership document the state has, or they've given to someone else. I'm not going to get into the debate on where that exists. This is an extract from it. So it does not come from this. It is the interpretation of this document with the attending doctor's filled out form And then they look at the two, and then they create a birth certificate, and they're very careful because they don't have the consent of the child yet to take his privacy and place it on the record in reality. So what they do is they create an ambiguous, unclear name document that you later interpret and start placing things in boxes and then saying you are that. So I know this may seem like a mouthful of understanding to try to digest, but this is not to be confused with the statement. This is its own document taken from another document, not this.